You know the hits, you've sung the lyrics at cookouts, slow danced to the ballads, memorized every word.
Kiss, say goodbye. Can they tell what's in our minds? My girl.
But here's what the industry didn't expect. Some of the biggest voices in R&B history weren't the originals. They were the replacements. The ones who stepped into an impossible situation and somehow made magic anyway. The conventional wisdom says you can't replace your lead singer and survive. These 10 groups proved that wisdom wrong.
Say the last dance for me. I'll be around. Please don't miss this train. That's
Here are their stories. Shalimar's got a problem. Gerald Brown, their lead singer, just walked out over payment disputes. They're signed to Dick Griffey's Solar Records. They've got momentum with Take That to the Bank, but without a front man, they're done. Then Griffey makes a call to a singer named Howard Hewitt. 3 days later, Hewitt's in New Jersey recording with Jody Watley and Jeffrey Daniel. And here's what nobody saw coming. Brown had given them a hit. Hewitt was about to give them an empire. The second time around goes gold in 1979. A million copies sold, but that was just the warm-up. Between 1979 and 1983, the Hewitt-Watley-Daniel lineup racks up 3 gold albums and 2 platinum albums. A Night to Remember Friends, Dead Giveaway, songs that defined early 80s soul. Brown's departure could have ended them. Instead, it launched their greatest era. That's a different kind of second chance. Number 9, The Manhattan, December 1970. The Manhattans lose their lead singer George Smith to a brain tumor. He's 30 years old. And if you've ever watched something you built fall apart right when it mattered most, you know that feeling. They're a doo-wop group out of Jersey City with steady R&B chart success, but they've never broken through to mainstream audiences. Gerald Austin steps in.
take my handkerchief and wipe your eye.
A 20-year-old college freshman with a gospel background and a voice smoother than anything Smith had. The producers notice immediately this isn't just a replacement.
Needing here so long.
This is an upgrade in crossover potential. 1976, Kiss and Say Goodbye. Number 1 pop, number 1 R&B. The second single ever to go platinum after that certification level was created. Manhattan had been recording for over a decade with Austin. They finally got their moment. 4 years later, Shining Star hits number 5 pop and R&B, Grammy winner Gold Records. George Smith gave them credibility on the R&B circuit. Gerald Austin gave them Wedding Reception, Immortality. That's the difference between respected and unforgettable. Atlantic star Sharon Bryant had the voice. From 1976 through 1984, she was Atlantic Star's front woman, carrying them through their early years on A&M Records.
So real, so real.
But here's the reality. 9 albums, steady R&B chart presence, 0 pop crossover, 0 mainstream breakthrough. 1984, Bryant leaves for a solo career. The group narrows from 9 members down to 5, brings in a 21-year-old from North Carolina named Barbara Weathers, and everything changes.
But living 2 lives just ain't easy at all.
1985, Secret Lovers reaches number 3 pop, number 4 R&B, Gold album. But that's not the story. The story is what comes next. 1987, always number 1 pop, number 1 R&B, number 1 adult contemporary. Album goes platinum. A ballad so massive, it becomes the soundtrack to every slow dance, every wedding, every moment when people want to feel something real. Bryant was talented. Weathers was chemistry with producer Wayne Lewis, who'd eventually become her fiancé. She helped Atlantic Starr crack a code they'd been chasing for almost a decade. Mainstream America, and you know how that goes. Sometimes the right voice arrives exactly when you're ready to give up. The Temptations. Mid-June 1968, David Ruffin misses a Temptation show in Cleveland. Not because he's sick, not because of an emergency, because he's with his girlfriend, Dean Martin's daughter, at her event instead. And here's the thing about greatness. It makes you think the rules don't apply. Ruffin had given them, My Girl, their first number. He carried them through Ain't Too Proud to Beg. I Wish It Would Rain made himself the face of the group, but he wanted more. Wanted his name first like Diana Ross got with the Supremes. Wanted the group to become David Ruffin and the Temptations. The other four said no. Dennis Edwards steps in. A former Contours member with a gospel train, rasp that cuts differently than Ruffin's smooth tenor. Producer Norman Whitfield hears something changes everything. Psychedelic soul, funk, political edge, Cloud 9, top 10 Grammy winner. First Grammy Motown ever won. I Can't Get Next to You. Number 1. Papa Was a Rolling Stone. Number 1. Before Edwards, the Temptations had hit number 1 on pop charts once. In Edwards' first 5 years, they did it 3 more times. Ruffin gave them Motown perfection. Edwards gave them range, risk, evolution. Both were essential, but only one made them bigger. Here's something that hurts. Only 1% of viewers on Music Express FM are subscribed. 99 out of 100 come for the ride, feeling the energy, discovering songs that hit right in the chest, yet you haven't joined us. Why walk away when the engine is running? Subscribing costs absolutely nothing, but it guarantees you'll always catch the next great track before anyone else. This isn't just a playlist, it's a movement. Don't listen from the sidelines. Be the 1% that fuels the music. Hit subscribe and stay on board. The Drifters. Benny King leaves the Drifters for a solo career after disputes over money. He'd just given them Save the Last Dance for Me, their only number 1 pop hit.
Tell them no, but don't forget who's taking you home.
Losing him should have destroyed them. I know. Rudy Lewis steps in. Former Clara Award singer with a different energy, different polish, some kind of wonderful up on the roof.
Go and carry on till the night is gone and it's time to go.
Number 5 pop on Broadway. All Lewis. May 1964. Lewis dies the night before recording Under the Boardwalk, 27. And you know that moment when everything stops.
Baby, don't you know I love you so? Can't you feel it when...
Johnny Moore walks into the studio the next day, sings the lead they prepared for Lewis, number 4 pop. It becomes their signature. 3 lead singers, all legends, each one keeping the Drifters alive when death and departure said it was over. Fresh and sweet. The Spinners. The Spinners are stuck at Motown, barely noticed. Lead singer G.C. Cameron can't leave with them when they sign to Atlantic. His cousin Philippe Wynne takes his place. Wynn's got an expressive falsetto and stage presence like electricity with producer Tom Bell. Everything clicks. I'll be around. Number 3, pop first million seller. Could it be I'm Falling in Love? Another million? Between 1972 and 1977, 7 top 10 pop singles. Wynn wants the group renamed Philippe Wynn and the Spinners. They refuse. He leaves. John Edwards replaces him. Working My Way Back to You. Number 2 pop in 1979. Cameron gave them Motown years. Wynn gave them the Philadelphia sound era. The Spinners proved you could replace the irreplaceable twice. The OJs. William Powell gets diagnosed with cancer. He's 1/3 of the OJs trio that just dominated the 70s with Love Train and Backstabbers. Both number 1 hits, both cultural moments. He records as long as he can. 1977, Powell dies at 35. Sammy Strain joins from Little Anthony and the Imperials. He's a veteran double rock and roll Hall of Fame inductee. He knows how to step into history without erasing it. 1978, Used to Be My Girl, top 5 pop, their last major crossover smash. But here's what matters. The OJs kept going, kept touring, kept placing R&B hits through the 80s and 90s. Powell's death could have ended them. Strain gave them 2 more decades of sold-out shows. That's not replacement. That's honoring legacy while moving forward. Earth, Wind and Fire. Maurice White needs a vocalist who can match his vision for Earth, Wind and Fire, not just sing. He finds Philip Bailey at the University of Colorado, 21 years old with a 4-octave range and a falsetto that sounds like it came from another dimension. Bailey joins. The chemistry between his falsetto and White's tenor becomes Earth, Wind, and Fire signature. Do you remember Every Day? Shining Star, Grammy winner number 1. September, Boogie Wonderland, Let's Groove, Fantasy, songs that don't just chart, they become culture. When White steps back from touring in the mid-90s, Bailey becomes the front man. White founded it, but Bailey's voice is what made it fly. Over 90 million records sold. That's what happens when the right voice meets the right moment. Heatwave's riding high with Boogie Nights and Always and Forever. Then lead singer Johnny Wilder Jr. suffers a near-fatal car accident. Paralyzed from the neck down, his singing career is over. At 29, Keith Wilder, Johnny's brother, steps up from background vocals, different voice, different energy. And here's what nobody expect. They kept charting. The Groove Line hits number 7 pop in 1978. Razzle Dazzle follows. Keith couldn't replace his brother's presence, but he kept Heatwave alive when tragedy said they were finished. Sometimes replacement isn't about being better. It's about refusing to let the music die. And if you've ever had to step into shoes you never wanted to fill, you know that's a different kind of courage. Blue Magic, early 70s, Blue Magic's got smooth Philadelphia soul and a lead singer named Ted Mills. Then Mills leaves. The group brings in different vocalists, keeps rotating, keeps searching. But here's the thing about Blue Magic. Their sound was never about one voice. It was about the blend, the harmonies. Producer Norman Harris understood that. Cannot you see that he is sad? Sideshow hits number 8 pop in 1974. Three Ring Circus. What's Come Over Me? All chart and all successful, even as the lineup shifts. Blue Magic proved something radical. If the production is tight enough, if the harmonies are strong enough, if the songs are good enough, the group survives. Mills started them. The collective voice made them legends. Sometimes it's not about the replacement. It's about the system being stronger than any single part. No doubt about it.